All Hail Biafra! This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
A very notorious terrorist in Nigeria. Nigerian government went and settled with this terrorist. This same man, for people that did not know this same man was the person who killed a major general and other soldiers. This same man was the person who killed over 260 people that was massacred in Benue State. This same man have been kidnapping. This same man have been killing innocent people. Now, Nigerian government went and negotiated with this criminal in Katsina State, Nigerian government. Somebody that you're supposed to catch and put inside the prison. You went and negotiate with this criminal. Why innocent people are there in the prison? Innocent people that never did anything wrong. The citizens of this Nigeria, this same Nigeria, where the government, they go negotiate with bandits. See this notorious criminal. I don't understand. Nigerian government is sitting down with a criminal. Negotiating what? I pour spit for Una's face. Mad people. This is unbelievable. It's only in Nigerian government that we negotiate with criminals. I have never seen this kind of thing done in anywhere in the whole world. A government negotiating with a criminal. Hey! Jesus Christ.
Yes, of course, we know the road to freedom is not easy. The road to freedom is never an easy task. It is filled with, is an adult task that is filled with all manners of frustrations, difficulties, and of course, hurdles. But the most important thing is the attitude that the Biafrans are using, that we are using. I mean, our mental attitude. We have taken it up. We knew from the very beginning, from onset, that it wasn't going to be easy. We knew ab initio that, of course, there'll be, the perils on the way. There'll be difficulties in the way. We knew roadblocks would be mounted our way. We knew, of course, that it was not going to be an easy walk to freedom. Of course, that's what we know, and that's what has been happening. Yes, but it shouldn't not in any way demotivate us. It should not in any way detract us. It should not in any way derail us. The most important thing is to focus on the goal, to focus on the target, to know, yes, that we are moving steadily to the goal of full Biafran liberation, willy-nilly, whether the Nigerian government liked it or not, whether they don't like it. We are moving steadily to Biafra full liberation. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, several of our leaders are undergoing different manners of frustration. Some have been convicted, some have been, we are still being tried and mistried. And of course, we are hearing a whole lot of stories about the man they call Gentle the Yahoo, calling me all sort of names just because, of course, they want to label him a terrorist. They want to, make him look bad. But it's up to them. We know, as far as Biafra is concerned, as far as the liberation struggles are concerned, we don't know personalities. Biafra, like I keep saying, in the BSM media, Biafra is not about persons. It's not about who you are. It's not about your name. Biafra supersedes names. It goes above. It's far above. It can never be situated in any name. If it did, it would have died with dim Emeka Odumegwu. If it did, it would have died with Wazulike. If it did, it would have died with all those who initially championed the struggle. But to God be the glory, the USB, the liberation struggles for Biafra. Yes, the fight for the liberation of the Biafran Republic. And of course, the USB, our searching, our seeking, and our fighting for a redeclared sovereign United States of Biafra does not have any personality attached. Anyone who comes on the way came because they had a role to play at one point in time or the other. That is the mindset. That is the mentality of Biafra. So no matter how many Simon Ekpas they convict, no matter how much Simon Ekpas, the jail, the Biafra struggle continues. No matter the trials, mistrials upon mistrials of Nnamdi Kanu, the struggle continues. It doesn't matter if they deny him his health care. Of course, this is a man who's suffering, very obviously, very glaringly. His systems are collapsing. I mean, when you have issues with your liver, you have issues with your kidney, you have issues with the potassium levels. Then, because they are government, because they are sworn to prevent you, to make sure they disgrace you, to make sure they eliminate you, to make sure they use you to show a negative example, because the government has chosen that they will make sure Nnamdi Kanu pays a price, suffers. They want to shame the Biafran people. They want to ridicule the Biafran people. They want to tell us that whether we like it or not, no struggle, no amount of effort can bring about a Biafran republic. That's what they're claiming. They said, do all you can, do all the propaganda, do all the travelings, do all the media hype, go to all countries, get the 47th president of the United States to be involved. We'll frustrate you, we'll damage your system, we'll make sure we'll continue to undermine you, to subjugate you, and put you in perpetual slavery. That's their mindset. That's their mindset. But it's not going to work for us, ladies and gentlemen. Fellow freedom lovers, fellow people of Biafra, it won't work for us. It won't work for them, because every effort they make to undermine us, to frustrate us, to cause genocide amongst our people, it will be met with typical ongoing frustration as it is today. Nothing kills our spirit. We believe in a living God. We serve a living God. And we know our protest is just. We know what we're doing is the right thing. We know we are fighting for liberation. We are fighting to be counted. We are fighting to be recognized. We are fighting so that anytime we talk, anything we do, we shall know we're doing it for ourselves. We know we want to liberate our people from the shackles, slavery, of poverty, of hardship, of frustration, of multiple taxation, of economic downdrawn. Yes, this is a government back to back all these years that has lacked any credible initiative for the Southeast people, for the Biafran people. All they do is marginalize us, treat us as a subhuman race. That can never be. That can never work. And of course, we will never accept that. Yes, that is the manifesto. That is the goal. That is the vision of Biafra, the redeclared sovereign United States of Biafra. Ladies and gentlemen, I just quickly want to make this audio this morning because they've started realizing that there seems to be two parallel governments as far as Nigeria is concerned. One for the Christian Biafrans, one for the Hausa Fulani. And of course, in the Hausa Fulani domain, what they do is when they get terrorists, when they get bandits, when they get lawbreakers, they treat them with kid gloves, give them a peace deal. But once it comes to and then reintegrate them into the armed forces, into the police force, and into the military, because of course they can use AK-47, they can use dismantle and assemble bomb-making machineries and devices. But of course, when it comes to the Biafran, when it comes to anybody from the Southeast who is a peaceful struggler, peaceful protester, and one who is talking about Biafra, talking about Biafra and the liberation efforts, what they do is they gather him, they unleash the heaviest, every arsenal of government, including the military, paramilitary, they unleash everything, including the judiciary, they unleash everything and make sure that Biafran is not spared, even a hair's breadth. They frustrate them to the gallows. They make sure they are convicted. They make sure they are mistried and tried. They make sure all manners of wickedness and evil are pushed and foisted on these people. That is what happens in Nigeria. A law for the Hausa Fulani, a law for the jihadist Fulani, a law for the Boko Haram, and another law for the Biafran peaceful protesters. Ladies and gentlemen, people are listening to us, and I'm happy that a former lawmaker who who represented Kaduna Central Senatorial District at the National Assembly, Senator Shehu Sani, has advocated for the elimination of bandits who kidnap and kill their victims and rape women instead of granting them peace deals after their atrocities. Yes, Senator Shehu, Sani has said he really doesn't understand why, when they catch Boko Haram people, when they get these people who have made the North and North Central very, very unpalatable, difficult to survive in, who have deliberately, uh, engineered so many devastating attacks on the North Central. But every time they are caught, they are treated with kid gloves. Every time they are caught, the next thing is peace deals. Who is doing these peace deals? Why is it that in the southeast? Why is it that in Biafra, every time you catch somebody, every time you claim you caught somebody, you give them an overwhelming, very overwhelming, you overshoot it and make sure such a person is totally, if not fully, eliminated. The former federal lawmaker turned social critic who was reacting to recent peace meetings held with wanted bandit leaders, including the deadly Ado Ayero, and groups of Fulani militias by local traditional leaders in the Fashkari local government area of Katsina State, stressed that the bandit leaders and their foot soldiers should be made to face justice or be outrightly eliminated rather than be offered peace agreements. In a post on his X handle on Tuesday, Sani said the peace meetings have become a recurrent strategy in Katsina and other troubled states across Nigeria's northeast and northwest, where the bandits would wreak havoc, kidnap and kill innocent people, only to turn around and request for dialogue, only to continue in the circle of violence. They are bandits, gang leaders who kidnapped thousands in northwest Nigeria. They raped women multiple times, and murdered people. They are supposed to be brought to justice or outrightly eliminated in the theater of operations. But our security forces repeatedly failed. Ex-Governor Masari once tried the dialogue option in Katsina, but it failed. Katsina and Zamfara bandits have records of infidelity to agreements, even with the presence of Sheikh Gumi. This renewed attempt will be left to be seen. The shedding of innocent blood must come to an end by any means practicable. Ladies and gentlemen, one former Senator Shehu Sani lamenting the fact that every time Boko Haram terrorists, every time Fulani jihadists, every time the Lakarawa group are caught in the north, of course, peace deals are struck. I mean, these are people who have killed, who have maimed, who have raped, who have destroyed, who have caused violently destroyed cities and communities, including farmlands. But when they are caught, of course, peace deals are struck. They are settled, quote and unquote. They are mobilized, quote and unquote. They are reintegrated into the armed forces, quote and unquote, every other day. And this is, according to him, is widening, is worsening and increasing the insecurity in the north.